Hello everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. I'm continuing with part 2 of the timber cruising series of videos. Today we're going to be covering measuring tree height. So right here I have a clinometer, and this clinometer is set up in degrees and percent scale. Typically when you cruise timber for height, you use percent scale or topographic scale. But from what I understand, I guess you could use degrees, but that's for the people that are probably way smarter than me. Let's go ahead and get started. So what you want to do is determine a base distance for your how far you need to be from a tree. So when you're cruising topographic, or it's one chain or 66 feet. For percent, it's 100 feet, but you can also go 50 feet because of other than baseline distance. And at some point I can show you guys the calculations on it. But to give you an idea is that you have height 1, which is your top reading, height 2, which is your bottom, and if the numbers are positive, both positive, you subtract the larger or the smaller from the larger, and then same if they're both negative. If one's negative and one is positive, you add them together. When you're measuring, you want to go away from the tree. So you can see this tree has a lean, so you want to come more like we're this direction through there, and generally either parallel to this slope the tree is on or a little bit higher is ideal. You don't want to go below the tree on a slope because it's going to give you a false reading. But like I said, going back to the height, so you have height 1, height 2, and then it's multiplied by the baseline distance. So like for cruising percent scale, for example, you can do so 50 for percent. It's 50 over 100 because it's percent scale. 1 to 100% is full scale. So essentially what you can do is you can divide the two numbers that you get from the clinometer by 2, and that will give you an estimated reading. I know it's a little more complicated than what you folks probably would want. I like cruising topographic scale, but unfortunately I don't have a clinometer to do that. And I guess maybe for informational purposes, maybe it's good to get into the nuts and bolts a little bit. But what I'll do from here is I will tape in, so measure from the tree to 50 feet, and then walk you guys through it. So when you measure a tree, you want to go from about the center, roughly. Fortunately, my nail on my logger's tape fell out and is no longer around, but I'm smart and got it figured out. So now you tape off like this, and I am obviously not at 50 feet or 100 feet or whatever I am cruising based on my scale and my baseline. So for right now I'm scaling percent scale, so I'd have to either be 100 or 50. And as a rule of thumb, another thing is you can usually get away with the 50, other baseline on smaller trees, but if you're cruising percent scale on larger, taller trees, I would recommend going out the full 100. But so the idea here is to shoot at the bottom like that, and then you shoot at the number like that. So I will just show you that, and I will show you, you know, the angles. So that's the degree side, and then you don't show, you know, it doesn't show, it's on the other side. But generally speaking, if you have this, it's like, you know, so you got like, you know, one reading down here, one reading like, yeah, it's like opposite. So I think you guys can kind of get the gist. So I'll walk out, take you guys with me, and I'll tape out the rest of the way to the full 50. All right, so there we are with our beautiful specimen tree, and as you can see, we're at 50. So as you guys can probably see right there, so the bottom reading, make sure I got my, yep, okay, so you got to be very careful because one side's percent, one side's degrees. So the side that's facing you guys is degrees, so the other side is percent. So I got 17% plus 120, 120, we'll call it 130. So that's 147. Or and then remember the rule, divide by 2 or times by 0.5, you know, because it's half of baseline of 100. So 147 divided by 2 is 73, 74. But you want to round up, so it's gonna be 74. And that's going to be your height. And as you probably will notice, I went slightly uphill. I didn't go that way. I didn't go that way. So I hope that explains enough for people, and I hope to hear some feedback from you guys. And once again, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.